The wise mentor stood beside her. His face was calm. A small smile played at the corners of his mouth, as if he had been waiting for this question his entire life. "What troubles you, child?" he asked gently. The student pointed at the elephant. "That animal, he is so strong, so powerful. Look at the size of him. He could destroy that rope with one simple pull. He could step away and be free in seconds." She paused, searching for words. "So why doesn't he? Why does he just stand there? Why doesn't he break free?" The mentor's smile deepened. He nodded slowly, as if she had asked the most important question in the world. "Come," he said, "sit with me." They found a smooth stone nearby. The mentor lowered himself carefully onto it. The student sat at his feet on the dusty ground. The elephant continued eating, unaware of their conversation. The rope hung loose between his leg and the stake. "That rope is weak now," the mentor began. His voice was soft, like water flowing over smooth stones. "You are right about that. The elephant could snap it like a dry twig. He could walk away whenever he wished." "Then why—" The mentor raised one weathered hand gently. "Let me tell you a story about chains you cannot see." The student grew quiet. She leaned forward, ready to listen. "Many years ago," the mentor said, "that elephant was not so large. He was not so strong. He was just a baby, small enough to fit in your arms, weak enough to stumble when he walked." The student tried to imagine it, the towering creature before her, once tiny and helpless. "When he was very young, the trainers brought him to this same stake. They tied him with this same kind of rope. But back then, the rope was not weak. For a baby elephant, that rope was strong, very strong." The mentor's eyes grew distant, as if he could see the past unfolding before him. "Picture this, child. The baby elephant felt the rope around his leg for the first time. He did not understand it. He wanted to explore. He wanted to run to his mother. He wanted to be free. So he pulled." The student could see it in her mind, a small elephant, confused and frightened. "He pulled with all his strength," the mentor said. His voice grew heavier with emotion. "He pulled until his tiny leg hurt. The rope cut into his skin. It rubbed and burned, but the stake did not move. The rope did not break." The evening breeze picked up. It carried the scent of distant flowers. "The baby elephant cried out," the mentor continued. "He called for help. He pulled again and again and again. For hours he struggled. For days, his leg became raw and bleeding. His voice grew hoarse from crying." The student felt her heart tighten in her chest. "He tried everything. He pulled backward, he pulled sideways, he twisted and turned. He used every bit of strength in his small body, but nothing worked. The rope held, the stake stayed firm in the ground." The mentor paused. He let the silence settle between them. "And then," he said quietly, "something changed. Something invisible. Something dangerous." "What?" the student whispered. "He stopped trying." One day, the baby elephant woke up. He looked at the rope, and he didn't pull. His body had learned a lesson. His mind had accepted a truth. "I can't break free. I'm not strong enough. I never will be." The mentor's voice dropped to almost a whisper. "From that day on," he said, "the rope was no longer necessary. The chain was no longer on his leg. It had moved somewhere else." "Where?" the student asked. She already knew. The mentor tapped his temple. "Here, in the mind, where we keep our beliefs about ourselves." The student looked back at the elephant. The massive creature stood peacefully in the fading light. One back leg rested lazily over the other. His trunk reached out for another mouthful of grass. The thin rope dangled loosely from his ankle. Everything looked the same, but now everything felt different. "So he still believes he can't break free," the student said slowly, "even though now he can?" "Yes," the mentor replied. "He learned that lesson through pain, through failure. He learned it so deeply that he never questioned it again, never tested it again." The old man stood with effort, and they walked closer to the elephant. "Look at him," the mentor said. "Look at his strength. There is nothing in this world that could hold him against his will. Not that rope, not 10 ropes, not 100. Then he turned to the student. His eyes carried both sadness and wisdom. "But he carries a stake in his mind, an invisible one. And that stake is stronger than any chain made of metal." Something stirred inside the student. "We're like him, aren't we?" she said quietly. "We try something when we're young, when we're weak. We fail, we get hurt, and then we stop." The mentor nodded. "We tell ourselves a story. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I never will be." And we believe it. "We carry the rope with us," she said, "not because it's strong, but because we believe it is." The mentor smiled softly. "You understand." The sun had nearly set. The sky faded into deep purple. The first stars appeared. "It isn't easy," he said. "That lesson was learned through real pain, and pain leaves a strong memory." "So what do we do?" the student asked. "How do we break free?" "First," he said, "you have to see the rope for what it is, an old belief, an old story." They began walking down the road. "Then," he continued, "you have to be willing to pull, not once, but again and again. You have to prove to yourself that you're no longer that frightened child." The student didn't answer, but something new had taken root inside her. Hope. The understanding that the chains she carried were no stronger than that thin, frayed rope. And freedom was just one pull away.